Hello and welcome to International Affairs, being broadcasted live from the SATV's Gulshan studio. My name is Shamsul Alampanto, your host for the program today. There are some important updates that I want to share, amidst which we have seen the hat-trick coming out of Lionel Messi's game earlier on today with Algeria. He scored a hat-trick, and that has caused a social media uproar. However, in the circles of the political arena, we see that the G7 is coming to an end, with all the leaders in attendance as they take a photo shoot at the end of this summit held in Switzerland and France as well. I want to introduce my panel here in the studio. I have Mr. Zubair Kabir. He's, of course, the Honorary Consul of Brazil in Bangladesh and is a senior political analyst. I welcome you onto the program.
Me here.
So happy to have you here as well. Alongside, we will have Norman Floyd Barnes, our geopolitical analyst from Washington District of Columbia. A very good morning to you, Norman. I want to begin with you regarding this deal on Friday. However, Switzerland is saying that they will sign a memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran. And various countries are coming out to say that a mine clearing operation shall be held in the Strait of Hormuz. With other updates as well, I want to get your remarks as you see them on the 17th of June in this very year. Norman, a very good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning to you and the global followers of us. And we are wishing and hoping that we are able to hold this promise of Friday in Switzerland. Right now, there's still very questions about the details of this agreement. The signing, the symbolic signing, will take place Friday, and the question still is what is happening with Israel. Israel is still providing. Still conducting attacks. As I read this morning, it could be, I think, 74 violations Iran is stating since the agreement was came to between the U.S. and Iran by Israel. The biggest part that everyone is concerned about is what will Israel do in Lebanon? Will they continue the fighting? Will they remove the troops as stipulated in the agreement? Or will they disregard it and just do their own thing? The problem is that because of Israel's position, this whole operation and plan for peace is in jeopardy. Israel is not willing to basically engage and participate in the peace process. They have their own agenda, and they are outwardly telling the world that they will proceed to protect the interests of Israel. That interest does not necessarily mean the same thing that it means to Iran and the United States, and for that most part, the rest of the world. So right now, the question is right now is that can the United States manage Israel? And that is the biggest issue we see months, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, years down the road. Can we contain and convince Israel to be a team player? The indications right now is that that may be a problem, and it's going to take a lot of work if it will happen at all. So we're waiting with bated breath to see exactly can we make it till Friday without a major incident that will cause or disrupt or disrail or kill the planned signing event. Some of the ships has already from Iran, tankers have been seen going through the channel, the strait. Small amounts, but they are moving through, and it appears on the end that the United States and Iran is moving towards that positive goal a plan and strategy to deal with the ending of the war and addressing the big, what we call the tiger in the tank. The big issue is on the nuclear uh, uh, facilities and the nuclear dealing with the nuclear materials. So we are at the crossroad of the week, and basically right now we're waiting, hopefully, that we can this situation would turn into a hat trick for the rest of the world regarding this, and Israel will come to terms and play as a team member as we move forward during this World Cup.
Right. Very excellent statements coming from Norman Floyd Barnes. Of course, a wonderful recap of the events that are taking place, especially with regards to the Israeli strikes inside Gaza as well as Lebanon. There are news that I want to share alongside, as Norman was stating. At least 4 people were killed, several others injured in a series of Israeli drone strikes in southern Lebanon. Of course, there is a ceasefire, very fragile at its current state, as the recent understanding between the US and Iran to end the war. Turning to Mr. Zubair Kabir here in the studio, you are hearing Norman, and I want to get your perspectives. We have been living for over 100+ days in this warlike situation in the Middle East. It has drastic effects here in Bangladesh as well. We see various nations are turning to self-sustain their own economies in the face of this kind of war. And finally, it has a proper chance of coming to an end with mediation efforts stemming from Pakistan's diplomatic stance as well. Today, I want to ask you how you see this, because Israel is continuously in bombardment of Lebanon and Gaza. They are blatantly destroying the rules that Donald Trump has stated very eloquently, very specifically in recent times. At the G7, Donald Trump has said then Benjamin Netanyahu has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon. What do you make of his comments?
So I actually agree with the guest, actually what he told in the Washington, and you told very clearly. So it is the question of actually the existence of Israel right now, because Iran, this war has got a lot of outcomes. Because we never thought that Israel is invincible, and the resilience actually Iran showed, it is amazing. So we know that we got to know that Iran has been preparing themselves for last 40 years, and the war outcome will bring from the unipolar outcome from the multipolar outcome. So the Middle Eastern countries, those who are producing the oil, they used to actually depend on US military. So right now they will definitely probably depend on the US military, but they will have to have the strategic partners from other nations, like Saudi Arabia already made a pact with the Pakistan.
Right, NATO-like agreement.
They have got the agreement, as well as they are talking to the Iran. UAE actually in the negotiation with Iran as well. So Iran is emerging. Iran is emerging as the regional leader in the Middle Eastern countries from this war. So it has got a very impactful outcomes, and we used to think that USA cannot be defeated. USA cannot be defeated. So it has got a very, and Israel. So it is a question of actually Israel there in the existence. So there is a chance that they may not actually agree fully with the terms and conditions, and that is it is kind of defeat for them. It is a kind of defeat for the Israel. So they don't. That's the reason actually they don't want to comply. They don't want to comply with the war end deal and all. So
excellent remarks by you, Honorary Consul. Of course, once we see that the common Israeli is pushed into a metallic bunker inside the ground every now and then, that is because of not being able to step back away from the escalatory remarks as you've made them. regarding Gaza, regarding Lebanon as well. Turning to Norman as well, I have an issue that I want to raise. I also asked this to you earlier on in the week. Iran and how the reparations are going to go, the compensation packages are going to be there. I'm sure this will be a part of the deal. We will know more when it is going to be signed this Friday. However, Donald Trump has stated that there was a fake news regarding to pay out, the U.S. to pay out $300 million as fake news. This is what Donald Trump has uttered. And of course, ever so, when he says something of the similar lines, it creates confusion, creates doubt whether or not it will happen. Earlier on, we have seen a board of peace, a consortium of nations coming together to rebuild Gaza. It has not come to a fruition in the midst of this war we see in the Middle East. How optimistic do you feel, given that the midterms are coming up, any kind of compensation with Iran? Do you see it in the coming days, as we must understand where this is going, whether or not it turns into a misunderstanding between the two nations? Norman.
Thank you for the question. The optic word is patience. We have to have patience. The previous deal the United States had took with Iran took over a year and a half to get it done. I anticipate that this may take at least that amount of time to come to terms on exactly how things are going to happen. We just have to take time. It's not going to be a quick, it's not going to be overnight wonder. It's not a yes or no question. There are different variables. There are different issues that have to be addressed. There's a great logistical challenge here. And basically, how do we manage the outcomes? That's the biggest thing, the outcomes. The knowledge is still there, even though if they destroy all of the nuclear material, it can be recreated. It can be done over, and it can be done at a swifter and more efficient way with the release of the sanctions, the funding, the support, and the newly found empowerment of Iran. They now is getting a feeling and confidence that they can basically be a major player in this changing world. Yes, they will have a strong case to make. They will still have the control of the Strait. They will also be involved in some key discussions on exactly how things are going to work in the region. Hopefully, they can work it out with their brothers and sisters, the countries in that region, to have a settlement, a agreement where it's doable for everybody and it's sustainable. So right now, we don't know what the future is going to look like, but we do know that there will be a future. This is not going to stay in this situation, and the current players may not be as influential as they thought they were. They now have to participate and share some of the benefits of the new emerging world. And we are now, from the G7, that people are now emerging. The countries, the leaders are now thinking on a different pathway. Hopefully, this pathway will enrich the economies of the world. It will allow people to not make the same mistakes. It's never going to be a situation where we go back to what we have. That doesn't work. We know the weaknesses of that. And now countries are going to have to stand up and take care of themselves, being more engaged instead of being served. They have to provide service. So thank you.
Right. Excellent remark regarding service, regarding the current situation of affairs from Norman Floyd Barnes. Before I go into a break, a very short question to Mr. Zubair Kabir. You know, for the last 6 months, the United States administration is following a very distinctive pattern. We begin with Venezuela, then we have the conversation with Greenland, if not Canada. we see Cuba, and then Iran. The defiant reply that we've seen from Iran has the U.S. questioning its administration. How do you see this, as Iran may have stopped this bad bout for Donald Trump?
Yeah, so when actually we saw the incident, actually what happened in Venezuela, so it was a very peanuts for the US administration and all. It was done very easily. So they thought that they actually misunderstood the power of the Iran. And Iran, despite having a lot of sanctions for many, many years, for the decades after decades, the resilience actually they showed, So many analysts actually started telling that this is the decline of the U.S. Hegemony. This is the decline of the U.S. power. So we will not see. So after having a massive success in the Venezuela, so Trump administration actually gained the kind of the motivation, encouragement. So within a short period of time, so they, with the encouragement, with the support with Israel, they actually attack Iran. But this is the outcome is actually from the Iran is absolutely different. Absolutely different.
Of course, excellent statements once again from Mr. Zubair Kabir. Time to go on a short commercial break. After a while, we see some developments in Asia with South Korea at the G7, alongside the relationship between North Korea and China, which we've seen earlier. However, there's a nation that I must discuss as well. Myanmar sees itself with its relationship in China. There are some optics we'd like to discuss, as well as the UK imposing of a social media ban for minors in their community. It is having adverse reactions as we see continuously the Labour Party losing out popularity in UK governance. Ladies and gentlemen, do stay tuned on this very program. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantho.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
opening an open war conflict with them,
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen,
Really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks,
preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
They will face better projects.
with President Xi of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantho.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
opening an open war conflict with them,
Testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
special and exclusive.
Welcoming our viewers back on International Affairs. Of course, in the studio we have Mr. Zubair Kabir. Alongside, we have our geopolitical correspondent, Norman Floyd Barnes. As we were in discussion regarding Iran, regarding Israel, and of course the United States of America, I want to ask you regarding some of the nations that have offered their hand of help regarding the Strait of Hormuz, regarding the mine clearing operations earlier on during the war. we've seen the Iranian IRGC stating that they do not know the location of these mines, as they have set booby traps in these waters. As we see, some vessels are moving across this very crucial Strait of Hormuz. The German Chancellor Friedrich Merz had congratulated the US President and said a framework agreement will be put on only after both the US and Iran are at a cemented stage regarding this deal. Germany has also stated that they will contribute to a mine clearing operation in the strait alongside Greece as well. I want to ask you, some of these nations have been devastated because of this war of over 100 days. Economically, almost all of the world has been affected negatively. So I want to ask you, are they seeing the positivity between Iran and the US, nations such as Greece and Germany? Norman.
In my opinion, the relationships, the information is now being revealed exactly on the exact circumstances of that region. And some people in the media have suggested that we are now being shown exactly what their plan is. And the relationship between the countries in that region, including Iran, is one of they want to be a union, they want to be a group, they want to work together. This is not so far distance from what the United States want, because that region is the energy sector of the world, and we depend on it. And so having the countries work together outside of this one country who wants to control the region is something that the president has mentioned, yesterday that they went after Hezbollah, Israel, one leader, and they blew up a whole block. He said, well, is that really necessary? So these type of fraudulent slips, comments, is very demeaning to the Prime Minister of Israel. It shows and it basically tells the world that Donald Trump, president, and this country and the world is getting very frustrated with these actions, and it pushes them into a point of isolation. Here, our Congress said they have to approve any type of deal we deal with. They also approved the funding for Israel. Some people say without the U.S., there is no Israel. So that may come up to a point where basically the funding will have to be channeled, controlled, or siphoned to Israel to basically get them to fall in line with what's going on. However, Israel's nature is not one of compliance and being submissive. They have their own agenda, and we have to figure out exactly how do we encourage them to be good neighbors. Right now, they want to be basically the elephant in the room, and they want to control the environment, control the outcome, decide who comes in, who goes out, and they want to be in charge. Well, with the new multipolar world, this is going to be very difficult because they have made so many enemies, and they are still pushing on their single focus of destroying a whole civilization, a group of people, a nation, a whole history that is not what they think is going to protect them. They believe that the enemy, and they believe Hezbollah, the enemy, is out to completely annihilate their species and race. So with that said, there will never be trust. There may be compliance, there may be a period of waiting, but there will never be total compliance. And I do not see they are changing their ways in regarding the Middle East. And this is going to cause a problem for the rest of the world. and particularly the players in the Middle East on dealing with Israel. So we still have a mess, and they are in a position to continue to fight Israel, continue to cause problems, to continue to disrupt and create an unstable environment until they get their will. I do not think they will be successful in this attempt, but they will continue to do this because they feel this is their only way. They have a single focus and they don't see any type of idea of peace because they do not trust. So let's see where we're going, and hopefully there'll be some type of movement towards success. It's going to be a process. I don't see this thing being resolved over 60 in the next 60 days. There will be understandings, there will be setbacks, there will be challenges, but the word is communication. If we get the countries to work together, Iran, Israel, Turkey,
Right.
all the major players there to work together, it will be a better world for everyone else. But there may be someone, a country, or a group that do not want this to happen because they have their own political games, both financially and in terms of dealing with control.
Excellent remarks from Norman Floyd Barnes. Before concluding and going on to the next topic of discussion, I just want to give a drawing, a contrast. The Abraham Accords, which was pushed by the U.S., it was to create a normalization of ties between Israel and the Gulf countries. However, in the Gulf countries, there are official rules. Let me just mention one. Saudi Arabia has officially banned Israeli citizens and corporations from purchasing land or real estate within the kingdom. The directive, which was issued by the Saudi Ministry of Investment and General Authority for Real Estate, strictly bars Israelis from participating in the Saudi real estate market. This is just an example of the relationship between the Gulf countries and the situation in that region. Now, moving on to the United Kingdom, we see that the UK government, led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer, has followed the suit from Australia's Anthony Albanese regarding social media ban for those who are under the age of 16 in a method to protect future generations. Turning to Mr. Zubair Kabir, a lot of commentary regarding this, even in the past, as of today. A flow, a pattern that has been established here in South Asia. We've seen the Gen Z protest coming to a very live performance, an ouster of a 15-year-old government, as we've seen popularly nearly 2 years ago. And then a similar sort happened in Sri Lanka and Nepal. Given more or less that it had an aspect of social media in delivering of the information, delivering of this crucial data to the people that have been happening. Similarly, in the UK, we've seen stabbing attacks coming to a live location. One in the Belfast riots as of recent, a man was seen stabbing someone while a video was being captured live on social media. Hence, that decision coming into play to protect the younger generations from these detrimental issues in society. How do you see this, the movement, and do you think that this is one step in the right path?
This is, I cannot directly say that it is the right path because it has got the both pros and cons. As you mentioned about all the incidents actually that happened in the Southeast Asia, started from Bangladesh 2 years back. 2 years back, so the Gen Z movement actually was played a major role in actually for the debacle of the last regime, the Awami regime here in Bangladesh. Right. And then actually it happened in Sri Lanka and Nepal, and right now within a very short span, last week actually we saw there is a kind of a movement in India, the Cockroach Party and all. Right. So so it plays a big role because the Gen Z actually they become very cautious about their rights, the civil rights, political rights. They want to actually express everything. So, and they get united. They get united from the various part of the world. Like the person actually who actually led in India the Cockroach Party. So he actually lives in USA.
He hailed from Boston. He
he's
flew
from-
into India. Yes.
Yeah, he helped from the Boston. So he actually he took the initiative very within a small time, within short span of time. Actually, he got millions of followers. Actually, which actually outnumbered the BJP's total numbers in the social media. So at the same time, it has got the negative impacts as well. The students, the kind of becoming inclined has got a more inclinations towards the gadgets, the mobiles and all. So they are actually turning more into the social medias than into the traditional studies, the traditional conventional studies and all. So it's a kind of the transitional period we are experiencing. So right now, I cannot say whether it is in the right side or the wrong side, because it has got some positive outcomes too in the recent years.
Right. Excellent remarks regarding social media and its recent effect that we've seen happening inside the Union of India, a very neighbor country. We'll discuss regarding our relationship with them as well later on the program. But I have to turn to Norman Floyd Barnes. Important issues as stated by Zubair Kabir in the studio regarding social media, how it flows in to various uprisings around the world. You know, back in the day, we've seen the massacres of the Tiananmen Square in China, and we see the very famous man in front of the tank. Back then, we did not have as sophisticated social media mechanisms as we have today. And when we talk about the United States, all 50 states saw the No Kings protest. Protesting has become the generational issue as we are transitioning the adjective used here in the studio. Would you agree with me, Norman, that social media plays a very important role in policy making? Norman.
Yes, I totally agree with that comment regarding social media. Social media is changing the way we live. It will change the way we move forward. The Gen Zs are very knowledgeable, very intelligent, and they learn very quickly. It's not what you say, is what you do. And what we seeing is basically they are learning the lessons learned, what not to do, and how they want to change and move forward as we go forward. Unfortunately, there are bad actors out there, and they are putting this information out to basically to try to control the narrative and make profits. So until we address the real issue is, well, it's not that you use it, it's not that the information is wrong. It's basically what information is being put out there. The narrative, we have to understand. A picture tells 1,000 stories, actually more than that. The images of the past we use, like Vietnam, the situation with the child running after being naked, the shooting of the soldier on TV, the image of that. Actually, I can go back to the United States, our history, back when we first started the first battle, Antietam, when they showed images to the people. These were still images. It had a profound way that were people thinking and to shape the way the world going on. Now, the media information is more current, it's around the clock. We're on a global situation. We are now more international. Things we happen in Bangladesh affects things what happening in Los Angeles and also Alaska. So people communicate, people talk daily, people talk globally. What's going on? They share the information about their circumstances. They are not the one to sit back and basically digest what you tell me. They take information and they compare the information. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. So we have to understand that we have to put out real information, exactly what's going on. And we have to understand that people are going to interpret that based on their situation. And if their situation is basically not one of basically, I said, being underserved, if you're being underserved, you're
Right. Of course, as Norman was stating regarding the past, as well as very important historical comparisons between the media usage of information back in history as compared to current day. Unfortunately, he has been disconnected, and alongside, it is time to take a short commercial break. Afterwards, we look at some of the issues of our region here in Southeast Asia and South Asia in general. Do stay tuned on this very program. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantha.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
Opening an open war conflict with them.
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV's screen.
really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks
preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
They will face better projects.
with President Xi of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantha.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
Opening an open war conflict with them.
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV's screen.
really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks
preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
They will face better projects.
with President Xi of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being patient as we head towards our last segment of the program today. Multiple themes from across the world, now focusing regarding the World Cup as well as some of the geopolitical relationships between Bangladesh and our neighbor India. Turning to Mr. Zubair Kabir. In recent times, I shall not be very descriptive of what has happened. I'm sure you're seeing the border push-in attempts, how they're handling someone who is has the respect of a statesman here in Bangladesh, Prime Minister's advisor Zaidur Rahman's visit in India, how it curtails the relationship and strains us, what are we to gain from our neighbor, and how are they going to keep relationships with us is our intention, is what we want to know, as we are a 200 million strong economy here in Bangladesh. Your respects and regards regarding this, as I will ask you regarding FIFA afterwards.
Okay. So in regard to the neighbors, our neighbors, we do have the two neighbors. One is Myanmar, one is India. With India,
Right.
we do share the more than 4,000 kilometers of border. Bangladesh is actually the emerging economy in this region, and we do have a very strong purchase power. And
Right.
for India, it has been a very good market, because one of the for India, it is one of the biggest markets for selling their products. It is one of the biggest we do have the huge trade. We do have the huge trade. After actually the debacle of the army regime, and there is a change, the transition in the relationship between India and Bangladesh, and a kind of India kind of actually stopped issuing visa from since 2024 September and onwards, and we are still having the problems with the visa related issues. And majority of our country people actually used to go for the medical purpose,
treatment, yes.
the shopping purpose, to the neighboring West Bengal, the Kolkata. So our Bangladeshis has always been the largest the buyers in the Kolkata's markets. So, and we got to know that they have been having the tremendous recessions once actually it got stopped. Bangladeshi when the Bangladeshis stopped going there, it was not. So it is actually the vice versa, the win-win situation for both the countries. Now it is important for both the countries to have the good relationship, the harmonic relationship. But we are seeing that's kind of the problems, because it is impacting their business too. It is impacting their business too.
Of course.
But we can grow ourselves. You see, we used to be dependent for the various kinds of commodities from India, like the onions for the cows and all. Once actually they stopped exporting to Bangladesh, and we are becoming the self-independent, self-reliant in those particular sectors.
Right.
So sometimes actually the crisis open up the opportunities for the country. So we found that. We found it. For the time being, probably we had some problems. There's a price rise up for some commodities, but we found that we got a lot of cow farms and all. Our the unemployment youths actually got involved with those kind of activities. And for last 1 year, actually, we are finding that we are having the onions actually of our own. We don't have to import. So, and as well as for some other textile things as well, like the cottons, and we used to import huge quantity cotton from India. Right now, we are importing from Brazil and some other countries like USA. So it is very important for India to maintain the harmonic relationship with Bangladesh. Or Bangladesh can be a very small country, but it has got around 200 millions of population. It has got a huge purchasing power. So we will not lose much actually, but there is a possibility that business-wise, and a lot of Indians do actually work in Bangladesh.
And vice versa as well.
Vice versa as well. Vice versa. A lot of Indians, they are working in Bangladesh. For the Indian medical tourism, Bangladesh used to go a large number. So this is their earning things and all. So and at the same time, for our economic stability, for Bangladesh economic stability, we cannot actually tolerate. We cannot actually. We cannot wage war against country like India. So we have to have a proper harmonic relationship. So it's a vice versa. It's a win-win situation.
And it must come with the common themes of mutual respect amongst one another, and forgetting who is superior and who is inferior. That has to be thrown out in this modern day of multilateralism. Changing the topic, Lionel Messi in his 6th World Cup in the opening game has led Argentina as the captain with a hat-trick of 3 goals against Algeria. Of course, he says it is beyond anything he has imagined. Just to add on to you, Mr. Zubair Kabir, how do you see the FIFA happening? We've seen set of rules with Iran, set of rules with Senegal, a very different set of rules with other nations. Just your very slight remarks before I can end the program.
So Today is actually a delightful day for me because I have been an ardent supporter for Argentina since my childhood, and you know that Lionel Messi scored the hat trick, and I had the opportunity to witness in the last World Cup in person Lionel Messi's one of the matches.
Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Pantho.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
opening an open war conflict with them,
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen.
Really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue, and your patience regarding this very program, and your thoughts and processes, opinions regarding worldwide issues here as well as local issues as well. I thank you from my company as well as this stage and studio for your attendance. I must also thank Norman Floyd Barnes for joining us earlier on this very program. Before I end, a very important fact regarding today's date, June the 17th. It is the World Day to combat desertification and drought. The day is celebrated every year at the initiative of the United Nations with the aim of raising awareness about environmental protection, proper land use, and combating drought risk. Of course, the World Health Organization has informed the entire globe regarding the El Nino effects as we are seeing the warming of this global planet. Let us pledge to stop cutting down trees unnecessarily and to plant more, to be conscious of water use and encourage environmentally friendly living. With that being said, I am signing off on International Affairs.